Thank you for tuning in to Laquita's Tea Time, which I'll probably change the name. Probably be Divine Time Talk, something along them lines. But I feel better when I release and express myself versus keeping everything inside, which is something that we as humans tend to do, to not upset nobody, to not offend no one, to not, shine a negative light on someone. But in cases of healing and doing shadow work, you got to be real, raw, and rigid with the truth and reality, and try your hardest not to play the blame game. This is a new time for me because I'm going through a period of transformation, of walking in wisdom, walking in truth, walking in my worth, walking in the divine goddess that I am. And it took me a while to get here. I'm 34 years old, and I just am on the brink. I'm not even saying that I'm there yet. I'm close to there. But I have faith because I have wisdom now. And I know how to quiet my mind and be still and sit with myself, that this is a possible, I ain't going to say that this is possible, that this is my part of my evolution. And I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you guys know that it's real over here. Going through a period where I have to be smart and have my wisdom, my intellect override my emotions. That is something that I've struggled with for a long time. As we feel emotions are very valid. We are not supposed to shun them away, but it's how we react, how we deal with these emotions. And when these emotions come, anger, fear, worry, happiness, sadness, etc., you got to learn how to work through those emotions and not actually react off of these emotions, so you can respond in a more calm sense, in a more mature and evolved kind of way. And we all learn, we all grow, it's all good. I'm not saying I get it right every time, but I'm learning that is the key to keeping peace, the key to working through and learning how to cope with whatever you're going through at that time. And it's also good to share the knowledge of how to cope and how to control your emotions, how to not let your emotions override your intellect, which is something someone dear told me a while back, and it didn't hit me till now. But we're smart people. We're chosen people. It's just at times we let our emotions override what we know, what's real, what's in front of us, what the reality is. So I'm going through a period of that, and it's not easy. Number one is I'm 8 months pregnant, a single mother, which I'm thankful for. I'm not complaining because, again, this is a intellect over emotional thing. It was just something that we had to come to grips with and, sit down with each other in a calm, collective way, and this is the result, which is, totally okay. As long as both of us are happy, we're good. But the reason for this podcast is for wisdom and knowing how to cope with regulating your emotions. What things you can do to regulate your emotions. I have a lot of time on my hands, and my mind Our minds can be our worst enemy. So with that being said, it is important that sometimes we have to fight with ourselves to stay motivated and not procrastinate and do the things that we desire to do, that we long to do. We have goals, but sometimes we get in this stuck place and where you're trying to figure everything out, trying to get in control because things are all over the place and it doesn't make sense and you want it to make sense. And in that moment, you find out that you are allowing your emotional side to override your intellectual side. So I'm learning to not put so much emphasis in trying to figure things out or trying to control the outcome, but I'm learning to be present. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We have no idea. And we can all admit that this year, or 2020, was a year that was very unpredictable. And life is very unpredictable. So it's important to be present because you just never know, you know. And when you're present, you are in the moment, you know. When you're not in the moment, you can't be in the moment. Like if you're around your kids, if you're around your family, if you're at work, or whatever you're doing at that moment, you're not present because you're too busy in your emotions and in your thoughts about things that you can't control. So I've learned to develop some mechanisms to help me to stay present, which is meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, which is basically the same as meditation. It's just so many forms of meditation that, So, also nature, walking, you know, and just sometimes I like music, but sometimes I just like the stillness, the peace, the quiet, to just be present and not think about anything for once, you know, not let my mind be boggled with what ifs and all of these things, and you know, just moving forward and allowing my life to flow versus me having to be in control and know everything. There's many ways that you can be present, but that is very important. And when you're present, you're peaceful. You're operating at a high level of happiness. You want to be around people. You want to be of service. When you're not in that element and you're in a negative place and trying to control things and figure things out, you're not in that headspace. You're anxious, depressed, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Things that most Americans go through. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of overthinking and trying to control things, because I went through a period where I didn't want to control things and I just let things happen, or I just went with the flow, and life was just magnificent. Like I was continually blessed, which I still am, but you know, things just came out of nowhere. Resources, you know, people who were on the same path, who understood me, like things were just moving accordingly. But then you get to this place where you get shooken up. Life happens. So after many practices, you get to a point where you're like, okay, here's the storm coming. And I have to be this tree that's planted in the ground that will sway back and forth, will bend, but I won't break. And when the storm is over, all the branches, to me, that's arms praising, thanking God that you made it through the storm. And in that moment, you can get back to it. But storms are destined to come. Pain is inevitable. We are going to learn and feel a lot of things that's going on, especially as being mothers or fathers or whatever your title is. It's not an easy title. It's challenging, and you have to find ways to cope and be present. and be peaceful and respond and not react. Yeah, that's a lot. But that's my encouragement for today, is just to be present. Find ways to cope through your emotions that are valid. Find ways to keep yourself peaceful, even in the midst, and know that even though you're in a storm now, that the storm will pass over, and you will have praise on your lips, joy in your heart, peace in your mind that surpasses all understanding. Scripture. But yeah, and try your hardest to control your emotions, and your days will become more smoother. You'll be able to focus. You'll be back in the groove of getting back to the bag, and doing the things that you love, and being of help. But when you're not in that place, it's all about you, all about what you can do to change the situation. Why is this happening to me? It's funny because when we don't focus on ourselves and we focus on being present and being peaceful and happy, that's when we think about others. That's when we want to be of service to others and give our love to others. And when we do that, just like bad karma, why do we always talk about bad karma? Why can't we always talk about good karma? When you do these things, good karma comes. So, with that being said, strive to be a great person. Strive to be emotionally stable. Strive to be peaceful. Strive to be present. Strive to find things that will help you be present. And strive to be the best that you can be. And know we will make mistakes. We will fall. But we got to get back up and keep pushing. And remember all the things that I just said to make us more present and enjoyable to be around. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I pray this message bless somebody, and may the message be passed down. You guys enjoy. Stay blessed. Peace.